Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh Shem Shai. Call Halayim La Yahweh Shem Shai. Alright, double honors to the apostles, bishops, elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to you, hopefully elect. Alright, this is your brother Yahweh Call from the Great Millstone Orlando camp. Just through the Spirit. Faith has been heavy on my mind. Of course, one of those topics that you can never really not talk about it enough, because as I've been saying, as far as this thing of ours, the chief cornerstone in this thing of ours being faith, that's what it all boils down to. That's what we're being stripped down to. That's what it all boils down to, man. Our faith being stripped down to hope, trust, to complete dependency in Yahweh Shem Shai. Because to be able to withstand what's coming, man, faith, man. I'm gonna get this real quick, just to kind of set the tone. Because like the scriptures say, pursuing Romans 15:4. Pursuing Romans 15:4. The things written aforetime were written for our learning. You see, and with that being said, when you look at all the different examples of our forefathers and how they displayed great faith, in times of uncertainty, right? In those times of uncertainty, you see, because with that being said, the faith that our forefathers displayed, it's not, these things weren't just written for us to just read about and just, because that's the thing, people, when it comes to the scriptures, it's just word on a book, it's just words in on pages, But again, these things were written for us to learn from, to apply to ourselves, because just meditating, right? How, again, our forefathers in those moments, because imagine what our forefathers, the things that they went through. Now, and this is why more and more, because people ask me all the time, or I tell people all the time, people ask you how you doing and this and that, and it's just because it really is a thing of just, I always say, it could be worse, it should be worse, but it's not. And with that being said, I complain less and less. I try to complain less and less, because I often think about what our forefathers went through. And it's not to say that what brothers go through now isn't, tough. It's not to downplay anything that brothers go through now. But compared to what our forefathers went through, man, they went through some real life shit. They dealt with real issues. Meanwhile, we're over here in Babylon worrying about a 2-bedroom apartment, But could you imagine being thrown in a lion's den twice? You read about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, how they were thrown in a fiery furnace, right? Imagine that, with flames so hot, right? But nevertheless, those men, because they stood up in the name of Yahweh Shem Shai, in the defense of Yahweh Shem Shai, right? You know, they had their faith in Yahweh Shema Shai, right? And so much that when they looked in that fiery furnace, a Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they saw a fourth individual, which of course being Yahweh Shai, you know, which shows us that, hey, in the midst of the fires, because the scriptures talk about glorifying Yahweh Shema Shai in the fires. And that can be applied to the missiles, all right, the elect are going to be getting delivered as those missiles are coming down, you know. But even in our fiery furnace, you know, when we're catching hell, and we give all praises to Yahweh Shema Shai, you know, because that is another thing. How else are we going to establish faith in Yahweh Shema Shai if the Lord doesn't put us through anything in the first place, you know? How else are we going to know that Yahweh Shema Shai is with us if we're not going through anything for us to be delivered from, you see? So that's why these things are necessary. Again, that's why we glorify Yahweh Shema Shai in the trials and the tribulations, because the more we grow, the more we're delivered. Hey, there's a level of confidence that comes with that, man. And this is what we're learning. All right, this is what we're learning. As it gets tougher, things get tighter, it gets harder, it gets more difficult. Nevertheless, more and more, our faith is being built up to a point where, hey, it's just, and I heard the apostle Rakah the other week, man. He said it. You know, it really just gets to a point where you just say, fuck it. The Lord's got me. You know, it's really just this thing of just throwing your hands up and just say, man, the Lord's gonna take care of it. You know, that's that. Hey, again, it all boils down to faith, because more and more, like I said, things get tougher and tighter. The Lord is stripping us down, man. Like I said in the beginning, we're stripped down to hope. We're stripped down to faith. You know, because another thing, you know, and we talked about this at last night's camp. Like the scriptures say, how the Lord's gonna take away your staff, you know, your bread. Because it's like one way or the other, the Lord's gonna strip you down. One way or the other, he's gonna take that which is comfortable. He's gonna strip away your comforts. But the difference between Lord willing us, the hopefully elect, and these people is faith. Because who these people are gonna go to when it's all said and done? They're gonna turn to their daddy, their God. All right, Esau. Versus us, hey, Lord willing, you know, we're gonna turn to Yahweh Shema Shai. Because to bring it all back full circle, as I was saying, you know, when you look at our forefathers, what they went through in those moments of uncertainty, all right, again, these aren't just words written on a page, all right, these are things that we ought to learn from and apply to ourselves. Because like I said, we trip about our little 2-bedroom apartments and whatnot, but our forefathers dealt with real life stuff, you know, real life shit, real life dangerous situations. You know, like I said, imagine being thrown in the lion's den. Imagine being in a fiery furnace. You know, now with all that being said, the fact that we're coming into a time that the world has never seen, that's why I'm going to get this. In Micah chapter 5 and verse 15. And I will execute vengeance in anger and fury upon the heathen, such as they have not heard. So you see, there's things coming. Again, pursuant to Daniel 12:1, you know, this is literally going to be the worst time known to man since the world was created. All right. So with that being said, where should our faith be? You know, where should our faith be? Because like I said, listen, again, what our forefathers went through, They dealt with real life dangerous situations, man. Life or death situations. Hell, it was to the point where some of our forefathers, they died in the faith. You know, a lot of our forefathers, they actually were put to death. You know, so when you read the different accounts of our forefathers, all right, you know, because there's been plenty of times where, in a sense, there was Jacob's trouble, right? Jacob was in trouble, whether it be individually or as a nation, all right? But we're coming into the time of the Jacob's trouble. You see, the Jacob's trouble pursuant to Jeremiah 30:7. Like I just read it. I'm going to read it again in Micah 5:15 again. And I will execute vengeance and anger. So you see, man, because listen, when it comes to that point of vengeance, all right, that's pretty much the point of no return. What Yahweh Shema Shah is getting ready to do, he's getting ready to black out. He's getting ready to lash out. Yahweh Shema Shah is getting ready to prove a point. He's getting ready to make a statement. You see, and so much that, again, reading on, such as they have not heard. So you see, man, this is going to be the worst time in history. And we're going to be here to witness it. And hey, again, brothers are going to be, we're going to be touched. We're going to experience some shit, man. We're going to experience this shit firsthand. We're going to witness it firsthand. Some brothers are going to be touched. But Lord willing, this is why our faith is being built up. All right? Because that's what it's going to take. That's what it's going to take, man. You see? So let me cross this road real quick. Bear with me. And while I'm waiting, I'm going to get this. Let me get this. Because again, the time of transition is coming. We're getting ready to transition. So, in the book of Romans 1:17, it says, "For therein is the righteousness of the Most High revealed from faith to faith, as it is written, the just shall live by faith." All right. So the point being, like I said, we're getting ready to transition. You know, from us reading about these different accounts. All right. Like I said, most people, they just look at it as words on a page. But no, man, these things are really getting ready to play out in our life. All right. It's really going to boil down to how much faith, and that's the spirit. Call y'all Basham Shah 144, Lord willing. But it's really getting ready to transition from faith to faith, like I just read here. All right, from faith to faith. You know, from faith to faith. Because again, when Yahweh Shema Shah really breaks the society down and strips everyone of their comforts, right? Like I said, the difference between the hopeful elect and everyone else is that faith. Because where's everyone else going to go to? Where are they going to turn to? All right, they're going to go to the government. They're going to go right down to those sea hipping stations. All right. You know. But Lord willing, the spirit is going to be on us. Hey, we're going to ride it out, man. We're going to ride it out. So like I was saying before, matter of fact, I'm going to get this because the different examples of our forefathers, all right, and everything that they went through. How much more faith are we going to have to, how much more faith is going to be required of us, being that this is going to be the worst time known to man? How much more faith are we going to have? You know? Let me get this. Second Ezra 9. Bear with me. Second Ezra 9 and 20. Second Ezra 9 and 20. So I considered the world, and behold, there was peril because of the devices that were come into it. So you see, because ultimately, when that MOTB comes around, is in full effect, is mandated, it's going to be so bad that the Lord is really going to have to speed the days up, because that's how bad it's going to be. You see, there's going to be peril, danger, you know, all hell just, you know, all out breaking loose, mainly here in America. You see, because that's how bad it's going to be. That's how bad it's going to be. It could be a matter of weeks, months, you know, once that MOTB is mandated, it could be a matter of weeks, months, you know, maybe within a year, you know, because, you know, one thing I see a lot of with these post-apocalyptic movies, right? You know, one of my favorites, which they made a series out of it, The Last of Us, you know, The Last of Us, right? Where pretty much after the outbreak, you know, in the beginning scenes, you know, the beginning scene they showed us in the beginning. That after the outbreak took place, what was the setting? I think the setting was like 20 years later, something like that. That's one thing I noticed about a lot of these post-apocalyptic movies and video games. You know, after that initial outbreak, the setting is always like 20 years later, 30 years later, you know, and it usually gets to a point where that's the new normal, you know. Everyone's living in this dystopian type of setting 20, 30 years later. But that's not going to be the case in real life. All right? That's not going to be the case in real life. Because again, the Lord, he's really going to have to speed things up because things are going to be so bad. That's why I said it could be a matter of weeks. It could be a matter of months, within a year. By the time, you know, between the time of that MOTB being mandated and by the time Yahushua actually comes. Because the Lord's going to have to speed things up, man. For real. Because that's how bad it's going to be. So how much faith is going to be required? See, that's you know, because again, that's what it boils down to. Our faith. Like I said, you know, as far as our forefathers, you know, as bad as they had it, how much more faith is going to be required of us, being that we're coming into the worst time? You know, we're coming into the worst time. It's going to be so bad. The scriptures say, if it were possible, even the elect will be deceived. So that's how bad it's going to be. If the elect weren't sanctified, if they weren't sanctified if they weren't predestined, you know, already, then even the elect would be taken. That's how bad it's going to be. So how much faith is going to be required, man? Let me get this in Hebrews 13. Hebrews 13:6. So that we may boldly say, the Lord is my helper, and I will not fear what man shall do unto me. So you see, man, You see, like I said, you know, like the apostle said, hey, it just gets to a point where it's just like, fuck it. You know, fuck it. You really got to get numbed out. The scripture said that the elect love not their lives unto the death. We really, you know, I mean, it's really to a point when, you know, a lot of brothers, man, have this mindset. We can care less what happens. Just to say, you know, it's so much. This is why you see brothers' boldness, you know, because especially when it comes to a lot of these Israelite groups, man, you know, they're not sounding the alarm. They're not blowing that trumpet. There's no sense of urgency. Because here it is. We're trying to tell our people that, hey, this is what's coming. This is what's getting ready to happen. But what are these groups, man? A lot of these leaders, man, they're telling their congregation, you know, otherwise. Giving them a message of peace. Because they're scared. You know? But you see brothers' boldness, because, hey, we're with it. Come on with it already. That's, you know, you hear brothers talk the way that they talk, man. Like, come on with it. We want to get the show on the road already. Because we really can care less. We can care less. Come on with it, Esau. Do what you got to do already. Let all hell break loose. Come on with that C-hip already. You know, we're in that hasteful spirit. Now, we don't hasten above Yahweh Shemashah, but hey, you know, we're in that hasteful spirit. Like, come on with it already. Because that's that faith. Well, our faith has been built up to a point. You know, because I always say this, you know, and it talks about this, and it tells you this in Isaiah 10 about when this burden shall be taken off of our shoulders. Basically, when this society finally collapses, man, you know, when this society finally collapses, hey, I always say I'd rather just take my chances with Yahweh Shemashah, man. I don't care. You know, I could be in the woods or whatever. I'll take my chances with Yahweh Shemashah. You know, because when has he ever done me wrong? When has he ever done you wrong? When has he ever done us wrong? That's why I said it earlier. As far as our report being established, man, you know, how else are we going to have faith if the Lord doesn't put you through anything for him to deliver you in the first place? You see? And that builds our confidence. You know, that builds our faith. You see? Again, you see brothers confident, man. You see brothers boldness. You know, because the Lord has brought us through too much. He's shown us too much for us to turn away now. You know, he's brought us through too much. So it's like, fuck it. And that it really is a thing that you got to believe, man. You got to believe that for yourself. You know, you got to believe that for yourself, that the Lord is with you. You know, the Lord is with me. You really got to believe that for yourself. Because that, you know, it is high treason. You know, you walking around questioning, oh no, man, I don't know if the Lord is with me. That's a real weak ass bitch made spirit to be in, to be honest. You know, and that's not acceptable in the eyes of Yahweh Shemashah. It's not acceptable. You see, that's the thing with the Heavenly Father. Yeah, there's no blue gray area. You either believe, we either believe or we don't. We either believe or we don't. So that's what it's boiling down to, man. Because I'm going to go back to that Romans. Because like I said, you know, when this society finally collapses, you know, it's just like I said, I'd rather just take my chances with Yahweh Shemashah. Whether that be in the woods, I might, you know, get locked up in a concentration camp, whatever. You know, I'll just take my chances with Yahweh Shemashah. Can't go to because, you know, this society is built off of comfort, luxury, you know. Now, there's nothing wrong with, because I've been getting in the habit of, you know, looking up videos, how to start fires and, you know, how to gut a fish and things like that, which there's nothing wrong with, just having the knowledge of those things. But for the most part, like I said, because this society's built, everything's built off of comfort. Everything's built off of comfort. You can just go to the grocery store and get you a meal. Fast food restaurants, right? But what are you going to do when all that comes to an end? Because the majority of these people, they don't know how to hunt. They don't know how to, gut fish or nothing like that. They don't know how to do anything. So when the society collapses, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to panic and they're going to turn to Esau. And in order to buy and sell, in order to eat, or whatever the case may be, they're going to take that MOTB. But that's the point I was making, because when the society finally collapses, hey, I take my chance with Yahweh Shema Shai. Because when has Esau ever done us right? When has he ever done us right? And when has Yahweh Shema Shai ever done us wrong? So it's just like, I'd rather just take my chances with the Lord, man. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what I'm going to do, but hey, it's not for us to know. That's why our faith, has to be on point, because we don't know. And that's something that's the fear of not knowing. That's what bugs a lot of people out. That's what bugs a lot of people out. The fear of not knowing. And again, make no mistake about it. We're in the flesh, so that nerve-wracking feeling, hey, we get it sometimes. It happens. But we are learning to, hey, fuck that weak shit. Fuck that weak shit. And then the spirit is going to kick into overdrive, because we've been taught to walk according to this flesh. But we're learning to say, fuck the flesh. All right. And we're learning to walk according to the spirit. You see? But I'm going to go back to this Romans 1:17 again. For therein is the righteousness of the Most High revealed from faith to faith. So that's the point. It's going to go from us, encouraging brothers, exhorting others, reading about the different accounts of our forefathers and things of that nature, is going to go from that to us actually having to apply it for real. All right? Because, listen, the time is coming when our faith is going to be put to the ultimate test. Especially when that MOTB comes around. Our faith is going to be put to the max. It's going to be tested to the max. You see? So we've been having all these pop quizzes, but we're coming to the final exam. All right? We're coming to the final exam. It is from faith to faith. From speaking about it, exhorting others. Basically, the talk. We've been talking the talk, but the time's coming. We're going to have to walk that walk. For real. So yeah, man, the chief cornerstone of this thing of ours, man, is faith. That's what it all boils down to. That's what Yahweh Shema Shai, he requires above all. Because that faith, it entails a lot, With faith, hey, it's going to come with trust, our loyalty, all of the above. But that's what it all boils down to, faith. All right? Faith. But Lord willing, this is edifying, giving all praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Shalom to you, hopefully elect.